Your girl's back. I'm spitting out this gum because the truth is I decided to quit chewing gum forever ago, and today a piece of gum just looked so good. So I am really excited to talk about one of these keys, right? A key to dating and to actually developing a healthy, whole dating relationship. And that is learning how not to repeat the past relationships that didn't work out so well for us, right? I want to talk about why it is that my past is affecting my current relationship or relationships. I personally have been there where I realize that this thing keeps following me. It's not the other person anymore, right? For only a short amount of time, really, can we just blame the other person for the same thing that we continually experience. It's always a bit of a come to Jesus, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching moment when we realize that thing we thought was the other person's problem shows up in our next relationship or our next friendship or whatever. It seems to be that thing that lingers around. The truth is, guys, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's actually just an invitation to step into growth, healing, etc. You might be sitting there on the other side of this video and just going, my goodness, I just feel like I can't even move on from my past relationship, but I'm just stuck. And the reality is, pain doesn't necessarily need time to heal. It needs help to heal. There's certain situations in life that if we get hurt and we've been hurt in relationship and we just jump into another relationship and that hurt isn't healed, that person is going to bump up against that bruise, that wound. It's just going to keep reopening. Eventually gets infected. It eventually is this sore on the side of our arm. We're eventually limping around. It's like we're broken. I haven't even addressed the fact that I have this scrape on my arm and it's oozing and goozing. And now I need to put some antibiotic on this. Now I need to go get this checked out and see how it's really doing. The same goes on with our heart, right? If we just pick up, move on, and never address the things that were painful, those same things will come up, get rubbed against in another relationship until it's manifesting in other ways in our life, in our relationships. We're developing weird coping mechanisms. We're having random outbursts of emotion. Well, it's probably because I haven't even dealt with that pain in my heart. There might be a bad belief system that's still there. I know for me, I had this sort of constant belief or feeling that would follow me in a relationship, not even necessarily just romantically, in friendship as well, where I really questioned, and I had this belief that if I wasn't fun, if I had a bad day, they wouldn't want me to be there. They would wish that I wasn't there, that I didn't show up. And the truth is, that same thing followed me into dating and is still something to this day that I have to confront. When I know that I need to have a hard conversation with Elijah, it's not going to be fun, I will put that thing off, even though I know that on the other side of it, it's going to be really good. It's going to bring us closer. It's going to bring connection. It's going to be ultimately helpful for the situation. I still have a hard time putting a damper on the day, ruining the moment. And that same thing, I have to look at in the face and I have to say to it, you will still be loved and you will still be chosen, even if you have a bad day. You are not loved because you are a good time all the time. You are loved because you are loved, because you are loved, because you are loved. So I mentioned that I had this belief system that I had to be fun in order to be loved. I had to have my life together. I had to be perfect in order to be loved. Now, you might have a bad belief system that maybe it's you're not worthy of love in a similar sense, or you might have a belief system that your voice doesn't really matter, your opinion doesn't really matter. I mean, the list could really go on, but it's really looking at the common thread throughout our relationships in the moments when we feel most vulnerable and most scared. What is that belief that we're believing? And if it's rooted in fear, it's not rooted in faith, right? And if fear is dictating every second and every moment of our life, we're not going to be able to build the relationship that we actually dream of. If our relationships are built off of fear, then we're not going to have a solid foundation for that relationship. Our whole relationship is going to be built on a very rocky foundation. That kind of leads me into the next point, is that you're operating out of fear. Your maybe belief system is rooted in a place of fear, like I said, right? Rooted in, if I lose him, what does that say about me? Will I be okay? Everything is rooted in fear. I'm not going to be okay if I'm alone. If we're operating out of fear, we are actually going to cause anxiety in our relationships. The other person is going to feel that anxiety and that fear, and it's going to be crippling to our relationships. Maybe it's even the fear that your past is going to repeat itself, so you almost self-sabotage the next relationship that you step into. You make sure to reject the other person before they reject you, or abandon them before they abandon you, or to bail on them before they bail on you. And you end up ruining the core of your relationship, because deep down, you're operating out of fear that this person is going to leave you as well, or that they're going to do the same thing as your ex did, or that you saw your mom do or your dad do. You're just operating out of fear. We have to look at those fears and we have to put them in their place. Girl, you have to tell them where they belong, and they don't belong dictating your relationships. You have so much more control over your own internal world and your own heart. You have to take it by the reins and you have to tell it where it belongs, because the enemy is a liar and he will tell you that those fears are reality when in fact they are not happening in your life. So when you feel like you're afraid that they're not going to want you to come on that trip, or he doesn't really want to take you on that date, or all those things start to come up inside of you, you have to silence them. Otherwise, they will dictate the future of your relationship. Okay, last point I want to make today is that you're not sure what a healthy relationship actually looks like. And the truth is, it says in Proverbs, without vision, the people perish. If you don't have vision for a healthy relationship, it's going to be very hard to cultivate that in your life. So one of my key encouragements and pieces of advice for somebody that hasn't seen a relationship that they want to replicate in their life is to go and find it. Find the people in your life, not over a screen, in your physical life, that you look at their life on a daily basis, you look at their relationships on a daily basis, and you hope and dream of cultivating a similar relationship in your life. Begin to take notes. Maybe even ask them to meet up for a coffee. Maybe ask them to mentor you and your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and begin to receive from them then. Begin to get vision. I would also encourage you, sit with the Holy Spirit. He is the greatest dreamer and visionary that exists. Sit with him and ask him, what does it look like? What would it feel like to be in a healthy relationship? How would I experience that? What would my day feel like? What would it feel like to be in the presence of that person and for other people to be around us in relationship? Begin to get vision for the nitty-gritty details of it too. What would it look like when we're having a hard conversation? What would it feel like? I don't think I've mentioned this on my channel ever, maybe slightly, but I help lead a dating course and community for women with an organization called Moral Revolution, and the course is called Date Well Women. You know, dating can feel complicated and confusing and honestly even scary, and this is a course where you will walk away feeling confident in your ability to step into a healthy dating relationship, confident in yourself, loving yourself, knowing the steps you need to take to walk through pain, past pain and trauma, and to gain vision for your future and your future relationships. And so I highly encourage you to check it out. You can check it out at letsdatewell.com. and you can use my name at checkout, ALLEY, and receive a discount at checkout. I forget the total discount, but I will leave it up here. I would love to see you there. We have an incredible time in our community groups. I hop on a live call with you once a month and talk through some of the complexities of dating and interview guests that are experts in the field of relationship. We talk together and just have time as girls to really discuss the ins and outs of this key aspect of our life. And so I highly encourage you to check it out. I've also just been working behind the scenes on some other few fun personal projects that I hope really will benefit you in the near future. And so keep your eye out, but I have some fun things up my sleeve that I hope would actually bring greater connection to you on the other side of the screen and would be even more helpful than just some of these videos that I've been posting. So stay tuned, my little top secret project happening behind the scenes. Anyway, I love you guys. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. It really does help out my channel. I will see y'all next time. Until then, have a beautiful, beautiful week. Bye, y'all.